Hey, so this is part 2 of the Gen Con video. So part 1, I focused on all the games I actually played, either at Gen Con or at the airport or as soon as I got home, or even last night. So I figured I had more to say about those. I wanted to cover those in a separate video. I opened up the boxes, show you what kind of game's about, kind of what made it exciting, or just some stories to share. So in this video, I'll show you those games again very quickly, but I'll also show you all the games that I purchased at Gen Con 2026. So like I said, I already covered all these in the first video, but this was Night at the Zoo, Evenglow, Kokeshi, Azul, Kids, Raindrops, and Cascadia Alpine Lakes. So I went through in details. If you want to see that, just hop over to the first video and you can see the details of these. And the same goes with these smaller boss games. This was Surplus of Sloths, Dino Racer, Friendly Fishing, Size-Wise, Assembled, Panorama, probably my mother-in-law's new favorite, Wingspan Pocket, big surprise. This one, man, I never played any of the spans, and this one definitely caught my attention. And of course, Azul Summer Pavilion. I never played it, always heard it was the best one, and now that I played it, I have to agree. So I'll go through these games in no particular order, except for I'll have two groups. The first group are all the games I purchased with my own money, and then the second group are games that the publishers gave me for review. First on the list is Mind the Lines. I'm always looking for a drawing party game. I have not had the best of luck, so I think this is the first one I think could be interesting. I gave a quick sneak preview to my friend last night, and it seemed pretty fun, because in this game they have these grid right here. You can see these lines are very chaotic, and you're given a simple task. Like last night I had to draw a ping pong table, but you have to draw it like with those limitations of staying in those dotted lines. So you can imagine it's hard, but what I like about it is because, you know, in this case, it's kind of an even playing field. If you're a good drawer or a bad drawer, it doesn't matter because you're limited to this vision. So I'll be really curious to see how this plays out. It seems to be a cooperative game. You sort of like everyone draws. You add in a bunch of random ones, kind of like, you know, That's So Clover. And then you try to figure out like which ones are the correct ones. Also picked up Honeycomb Hustle. This game, actually Nate from Last Night Games demonstrated this to me, and I was like, I gotta buy this, gotta buy it. I realized this is the kind of game that my mother-in-law would love. We play another game called Garlings, which is another bag building type game. So this one is similar to that. You're bag building these little honeycombs out of the bag, and you're trying to make connections. And you're trying to make the most connections because then that's like your currency to then buy stuff. And you keep playing until there's a game-ending, you know, scenario, and then whoever has the most honey wins the game. So I know this game's gonna be this game's a slam dunk with my mother-in-law. So I can't wait to get to the table. This is Honeycomb Hustle. Another party game I'm really curious to try is Guess the Mess. Like I said, I have three groups. I have like my family group, my hardcore game group, and then I have my party game group. So I have a lot of these party games. I'm always looking for the ones that are slightly different. I mean, these cooperative-ish style games haven't gone over the best with my group so far. So if there's a different take on it, I'm willing to try it. So this one is essentially, I think it's like a semi-simultaneous play where you have all these random cards that look like kind of these objects on the box here, just different things. And everyone has like clues, and then you're trying to get a bunch of things that might match your clue. Then with those cards in the clue, you pass to the next person. And then all those clues go to the central board, I think mixed in with a couple of random ones. And they have to look at your pictures and try to figure out, you know, okay, looking at this mess of things, like what was I trying to communicate to them? But everyone's doing it at the same time. So it's sort of like, you know, That's So Clover, but like with like a lot of people all going at the same, I don't know. It just feels like it feels super interesting. I want to at least give it a try. Next up is Wild Blooms, which is a board game, but essentially it's a roll and write because the amount of combos in this game are crazy. Because the gameplay is pretty simple. You draft a flower, you just take it, and whatever color it was sitting on, you activate those flowers. But not just for you, everyone activates those flowers. So if I had two red flowers and they had a red flower, everyone's red flower would activate, and you move up one. Now, depending on where you are on the flower, that might activate some kind of power that lets you combo another flower or lets you combo another flower. So it's one of those games where like you're constantly moving up these tracks on these flowers, and once you reach the top, you then, you know, the flower is grown, you plant it into your planter, which is a nice table presence because now you have this little like planter and all these flowers are sticking out. So you can visually see how everyone's doing because they'll be like flowing out of this thing like this. So they just stick in like this and you'll have a bunch of them, right? And on the other side, you see this like the track system. And there's different bugs and insects and they all interact in some shape or form with, you know, the gameplay. Honestly, my first play, it felt a little bit overwhelming at first. I think it's a game I definitely want to play more because like at first, it just felt like you're just doing too many combos. So definitely a game I want to play more. It seems like my wife liked it though, so I think there'll be a good chance to actually play it again. So I'm excited to get it back to the table at some point in the near future. Bordeaux, which is essentially, I think, Fromage, the Roll Night version. Haven't played it yet. Definitely want to give it a go. I like the form factor of being like, it looks like I'm reading a book. So I was out in public, people like, what are you reading? I'm like, yeah, totally a book. Definitely not a game. So excited to try this one out soon. Picked up Flip Pick Towers. I keep hearing a lot about this game, so I gotta try it out. It sounds like an interesting take on a kind of flipping right. You're building these different competing castles. I don't know a lot about it. I read it a little bit, but look forward to getting that to the table. Seems pretty interesting. And in the same vein, I have Circadia. Just been hearing a lot about this game. I love small box card games. So I'm excited to try this one out. Curious to see how I watched a playthrough of it. Can't quite remember all the details now, but it seemed like a game I definitely want to just give it a go. I think my mother-in-law probably will like it based on what I saw. So hopefully this one is a winner. Picked up Sky 5 on a whim, and then I saw people playing it in the hall. It looked pretty fun. These kind of games are hit and miss with me. It's sort of like a Flip 7 meets Push. I didn't really enjoy Push too much, but obviously Flip 7's obviously people love that game. So I'll be curious to see how this plays with my group. These are 50-50 with me. I don't know how it's gonna go over, but hopefully good. Had to get Rattlesnake. I love these two-player head-to-head games. No clue what makes this one different, but my buddy and I were gonna play this next week, so I'll have more to talk about soon. Confusing Lands, easy buy. I have Confusing Lands, the first one. I didn't realize that. I thought this was just like another sequel, just was different artwork, maybe some different goals, but I found out you can actually combine the two games together and you can play, 3-4 players. So that's super interesting. So I'll have to see how that goes. Because as much as I love Confusing Lands, I bring it with me. I'll take it out of the box and just have the cards. It's so small. But now knowing that I could bring like a little, button shy wallet with both games in it, and I can have, potentially play one set or the other set or combine them, that's pretty cool. Grunts, everyone was talking about it. How to try it. Haven't played it yet. I just know it's like a two-player head-to-head. Sounds like there's magnetic pieces that you can swap in and swap out with different tanks. Sounds super cute. All play. I generally have a good success rate with all play games. I really do. So I gotta give it a go. Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I have the original big board game, but I saw this is one of those plate ones that open up and becomes the box. You're right. This becomes the board, and it's to the point where this form factor is so nice, and that's it. You just bring this with you. You have Can't Stop. I might get rid of my other version of Can't Stop. I feel like this one will just get more play because the other one's just a pretty large box. And I feel like this does the job exactly what I need to do. I just love how it closes up. Oh, so nice. Okay. Those who watch my channel, they know I've been playing Loners and Down Up, which I think both definitely kill Scout for me personally. But I heard Haunted Mouse is in that category. My good friend Caleb, I showed him Loners at Gen Con. He's like, you really got to check out Haunted Mouse. I think there's a lot of overlap maybe with Loners in some ways. This is very different, obviously. So this one, I watched a little bit of the Brothers Murph playing it. Seems super interesting, so definitely look forward to getting this to a table. These are only 3 games still in Shrink. I have not looked at them yet. I played Compress as a demo there. Super interesting. It's sort of like Binary, the game, where you're trying to memorize a binary sequence using these cards, and you have to lay them out in a way to help you remember. So you might put a 1 at a certain angle that tells you there's 3 1s. You might put a 0 at a certain angle. That's 4 O's, there's 4 zeros, and so on and so forth. The other 2 I know nothing about. They were just the new Oink games, and I just love buying Oink games. I love trying them. I have a whole bunch of them now. I might have to do a total Oink roundup one day because, I don't know, they're getting a little out of control now in terms of my collection. So I've probably got to weed it down to the top tier ones. Vivo was another impulse buy. I was checking out All Play. It's one of those games I've seen talk about a few times. Trick taking goes over well with my in-laws, so I figured I got to give it a go. So Vivo, we'll see how it plays. I have no clue, but more to come. I had to buy the pretty Flip 7. National Park Flip 7. Essentially Flip 7, but with prettier cards. So this is more impulse, gotta have it kind of thing. So there you go. We love the game Priorities in our house. I didn't realize there was a Priorities Family Edition, so that was an easy buy. My daughter is not quite old enough for this, but I like to have it around so that way we can start introducing her to it. Because I love this kind of stuff. It'd be fun to play with her. Okay, what do you think mommy likes more, this or this? But the other ones are just concepts that definitely wouldn't understand. So this one's a little bit more in her wheelhouse. I did look at some of the cards. I could tell some of them she'll no clue. But I think with me playing with her, with my wife, it'll be fun to introduce to my daughter. Love Fliptoon Season 1. So Season 2 was a no-brainer, as they say. So this one, I have played it online. It just seems like Fliptoons, but Fliptoons where you can stack cards and you have things going above and below. I feel like this one just has a lot more of that. So I haven't got into it fully with my physical copy yet, only online. So I look forward to getting this played to see how it really plays. Another party game, 1 round. I think this would replace a lot of this style of game for me. This whole like word association game. I feel like this one could kill off a lot of games. So we're gonna play it, see where it really lies, but I have high hopes for this one. Reiner Knizia and Gamehead. Easy as buy at the convention. I know nothing about this game. I have since opened it up and read their rule books, but when I was looking at it, I was like, well, I love Gamehead. I love Reiner Knizia. I see some cards. I'm buying it. I'm buying it. So I bought this one. So I can tell it definitely has the Reiner stamp on it. So I haven't played it yet. I was going to play it last night with 2 players, but I could just feel this game needs to be played at 3 players at least to really get the full effect of it. But I'll try that too. I'm always surprised. Sometimes you never know what's going to work at 2, but we'll see. Wild Magic. Went ahead and picked up the expansion for Captain Flip. This is the Isla Bamba. So it just gives you more maps to play on, and also physical maps that kind of change the gameplay. Because the other map just gives you coins if you have it on your turn. This one, I think it has a lot of other interactions. And of course, other maps. I'm all about it. I love Captain Flip. It's a great game. I don't get to play it as much as I would like, because as much as it's gateway friendly, it's not like uber gateway friendly. Meaning like, if someone's never played games, this is a hard game to introduce them to. But once they get into it, obviously it's very simple. But it has a little bit of a hurdle, but I just want more maps. I think it's fun. I like it, so there you go. Picked up Pop Art. This one looks super interesting. I saw someone talk about it on YouTube somewhere. I think it's been out, and now I think Asmodee's putting it out, because Asmodee had it as a demo only. Then I went to the All Play, like, not their booth, but like one of their like rooms, and they had it for sale there. So I was like, sure, I'll try that. It seems like a nice little like tableau builder where you're trying to put out like cards. It's either like 3x3 or 4x4, but anyways, like grid of cards. But the twist of this game is, I'm just gonna show you, is you're collecting these like kind of semi-transparent sleeves plus these like color backs, and you combine them to like make a card, right? So the two together, and also you'll notice there's like blank spots and different scoring. So depending how you combine them, it will like change the combination of the cards. And when you place them, it also scores. Like things to the left of this or to the right of this will score so many points, or this card will score so many points. So it's cool because I think it's like a pass and pick type like Sushi Go style of drafting. I haven't read it fully, but anyways, I feel like you're just passing, playing cards, and then that's it, and then you score. So seems super interesting. Definitely want to try it out. That little gimmick just definitely caught my eye. High on my list to pick up was Cup the Crab. I was at 25th Century Games. I saw this game advertised a while ago, but just wasn't available anywhere in the States. So I was so happy to see this there. It seems like a fun card game. You get 21 cards, and on your turn, you only pick 3 to play, and then that's it. And essentially, you're just trying to stack these cups up and then give like these crabs a home. Because if you play a crab, you steal all the cups. But there's a little twist, like there's like this little bottle that you can like cap the cups so then the crabs can get in, but then there's also an octopus. So you can see it's one of those like rock, paper, scissors style games where this beats this, but this beats this, and so on and so forth. So seems super interesting. I haven't played it yet. I have high hopes for it, so more to come on Cup the Crab. Next up is the Mirroring of Mary King. This one caught my eye because you have these tiles that are double-sided, and one is Mary and one is like, I guess, her insane self. I thought maybe it was like a poltergeist, but it seems like she's like losing her mind. So you play head-to-head with somebody, and essentially you're just trying to get the tiles all turning the same way, and you can win. There's another win condition, I think, was something with the cards. I don't quite know. I haven't played it yet, but I definitely look forward to getting this to the table with my buddy Chris. I think we're gonna like it. Inkwell by DBC Games, the guys the one that make Here Lies. I knew very little about this game. It's not that it looked really interesting. I mean, it looked like some like area control, like Azul style drafting. So I was like, you know what? So far, I had a pretty good hit rate with DBC Games. So it was just like, yeah, let's just give it a try and see how it goes. Next up is the new tag team. What a interesting turn of events, because I played the original tag team at Gen Con last year, and I was kind of like, yeah, it's not really for me. I never really played those auto battler games before, but I've since bought the original and played it and actually had a pretty good time with it. So I figured, you know what? Let's just go, baby. Let's get the next one. Let's just try it out. I don't know. I don't know if I assume you can combine them and all that kind of stuff. I don't know too much about it, but I know it's the same gameplay. So I figured, more of an awesome game. Can't go wrong. Trick to the Future. I mean, I'm a Back to the Future fan, so anything that has that sort of theming, you count me in. And it's a trick-taking game, and the gimmick is, the letters are in these kind of like style, like analog alarm clock letters, or numbers. So you can add these fuel rods to like change the result. So in this example here, it looks like they're changing like a 4 to a 6 or whatever. Or you can make like a 3 to an 8 and so on and so forth. So after you play your card, you can then change what the number is after everyone plays their card. So, and then there's a whole bunch of things with balancing and all that. It seems right up my alley. Honestly, when I first heard it described, it sort of reminded me of their game No Loose Ends. But once I read it a little bit more about it, it's definitely different, but definitely want to check it out. Super curious about Pet Quartet. I love Coloretto. I also love Triqueta. And this seems to be in the same vein, where you pick up a card and you add it to this rows of cards, or you pick up a whole row of cards. You only get 2 decisions. But in the end, you're kind of set collecting with some goal. With Triqueta and Coloretto, they have a different scoring mechanism. This one, essentially, you're trying to get 1 of something, like a solo act, or a quartet, so 4 of something. And that's it. You're trying to get 1 or 4. There's different ways to score in the game. There's also modifiers that you can play in the rows that change the gameplay up a little bit. Maybe 1 limits, instead of so many cards, you can only have 2 cards. Or 1 lets you draw a card if you do something. So it just adds to the gameplay. I also saw this similar with Wild Magic. Had the similar kind of idea. So these both head games, so I don't know if that influenced it. But with Wild Magic, the same thing, where you have the standard vanilla gameplay, but then you can add these other tiles in that just add more to think about. 2 little expansions. I got the Unicorn expansion for Night Zoo, and I got the expansion for Xena. Xena's been a great game. I just figured, if you're staying in line, you see a little packet for a game you like, it's not a hard buy to buy. Got All Mine. So this is what I know Capstone was pushing along with Night at the Zoo, so I saw a little bit of gameplay about it. Don't know a lot about it. But this style of game, this trick-taking-ish style of game, it goes over well with my family, so I'm always willing to try. I'm like, I don't know if it's to be a forever game. I don't know much about it, but I'm gonna take the risk. We'll see how it pans out. The last few games in this pile are kids games for my daughter. So she loves K-Pop Demon Hunter and also Bluey. So I saw they had the K-Pop Demon Hunter Monopoly deal, which I never played before. But after playing Wingspan Pocket, Catan on the Road, I don't know. I feel like I gotta try another card game, from a board game kind of style. So I'll be curious to see how this is. Let me know. Have you played this before? Is it better? I mean, obviously I don't want to play Monopoly, but maybe this scratches the itch. I don't know. The other 2 are Spotted. They're already out of the box. My daughter's already playing with them, so I don't know how I feel about Spotted yet. My daughter's just learning the game. She's getting the hang of it. She's kind of playing by herself right now, which is great because she's practicing. But then when she's ready, she's gonna take on the final boss right here. See how she does. They're also giving out little promos of Town Up. This is so cute. I love that I have this, because obviously the other box is bigger and the cards are bigger, but I'm gonna leave this in my car. This is gonna live in my car. I'll have Town Up with me no matter what. I got a game, I can always reach for it. And the cards are nice. I mean, it's everything here. I think they just didn't put the instructions, but everything you need to play is inside here. Oh, almost forgot 2 more games. So I have Sandcastles. This is the only one I bought from Pandasaurus. They had a lot of good games this year I was looking at getting, but I don't know. Last year I bought too many, and then especially in this family weight style, and I ended up giving away a lot of games, so I was being a little more cautious this time, says the person who has all these games in front of them. But I want to try this with my mother-in-law. It's really just hit and miss with her. It's not a game I probably will play with anyone but her, but I'm really curious to see how it plays. The one thing about it that was interesting is the drafting. You're essentially building the sandcastles, and as you expect, depending on how you put the tiles down, they score within each other. But you pick a card up, and I decide if I want to keep it or pass it. If I'm playing with 4 people, everyone except for the last person has that choice. So you can always have that kind of push. You're like, well, do I wait for another one? Or do I take the one I know I can use? So I think that drafting mechanic is interesting. So I'm curious to see how it plays in the game holistically. Junk Drawer is a game I always wanted to try. I honestly couldn't find it online. Maybe they reprinted it because maybe I saw some more recently, but I wanted to go buy it. It was on eBay for double, 3 times the price. So I saw a copy there. I always wanted to try it. I love polynomials. This one, it's a little bit different in terms of you have 4 rooms. You all have the same 21 pieces. And it seems like just who can play the more efficient game. No clue if this is going to be a game I'll keep, but I just really wanted to try it, so that's Junk Drawer. Next group of games are games that AEG hooked me up with. First up, we got Farage. It's a nice style roll and write. It looked really pretty. I'm super curious to try it out. I don't know a lot about it, but I definitely will be getting it to the table soon. Roll and writes are big in my family. We love playing them. So I'm excited to try that one out. I got Word Wipe. Don't know what I just said. I don't know a lot about this game at all. Super curious to try it out. So this one I'll be cracking into real soon. Honeypot, I've seen people talk about it a bunch. They had a game night where I couldn't make it, where they all played it together, but I'm super excited to try it out. I saw people playing it at the convention a lot. So this game was definitely everywhere. So I assume I'm sure it sold well. But it seemed like a game where you're sort of like stacking the cards, and then people have to like go down, and then they keep going down as far as they want, but obviously they can never go back. So you're trying to like play that kind of bluffing mind games. And it seems like overall it's just a set collecting game. But there's that little extra dynamic of like you're stacking the deck for the next person, and they have to kind of figure out when to stop. I think they have a buzz term for it. They call it I stack, you choose. So there you go. I went to the All Play media event the first night, and they hooked me up with all this. Thank you, All Play. You guys are awesome. So this is Mountain Goats Legacy. You know, this is a game I always wanted to try. I have Mountain Goats, and just like everyone else, when I heard they made a Legacy game, which I think is more of a campaign game, but that aside, I was like, what? How does that make sense? I don't get it. Okay, but I'm in. So I think this game, what we're gonna do, since my buddy comes over every week, I think we're just gonna start cracking into, I think there's 10 chapters. So I think we're gonna start cracking into each chapter, and we'll see how this unfolds. Really excited to check it out. Phantom Ink, oh, I'm so excited for this because I have the original Phantom Ink, the party game, but I think this form factor might be the winning one. The other one's pretty darn large. So I'll play this and then play the other one. And my guess is I'm getting rid of the other one, and this is gonna be the winning one because, I mean, the other one is pretty large. I feel like this is gonna be the winner. And the other one also has paper. This is dry erase. I think this, I looked at the parts. My gut says this is gonna be the one. I also got 2 tiny box games. I mean, I got Stonk Market. Now, party style game with Reiner Knizia. I don't think he made party style games, but that's why I'm curious to try this one out. So it sounds like it's not a game I'm probably not gonna like, but I'm not gonna judge it until I try it. Because I feel like these are definitely group dependent games, because it's sort of like you're all together and you're at a stock market and you're all shouting and trying to make wheels and deals all at the same time. But in the end, you're just trying to get majorities of the cards in your hand. Like in your hand, as long as all your cards are the majority of whatever cards that you're trying to collect, there's different like suits and colors and stuff. Like there's like 5 green, 5 red, 9 of this color. So long as you have enough, you can say stonk, and that ends the game. And there's other little rules too that make it interesting. So, you know, these kind of games could surprise me, or they could maybe fall where I think. We'll see. Another big hit at the convention was this Jibble Jabble? Jibble Jabble. So I got it signed by the designer, Cassie. That was kind of cool. And I want to try this out. It kind of reminds me of Bullseye. It kind of reminds me of Bullseye a little bit, just without the whiteboards. So in this one, I think you're trying to give clues to people, but you start off by spelling the first letter, and then the next person has to kind of figure out what you're trying to go with, and they have to fill the next letter, and so on and so forth. And the person tries to guess, obviously based on those clues. Now, these kind of games I'm a little bit nervous about because, I don't know, these open spelling games, I feel like my friend groups might be a little bit shy about this, but I heard it could be a lot of fun, right group kind of thing, so definitely we'll try this out. Enchanted Ivy. Will I be turned into a solo gamer? I'm actually really excited. A lot of people spoke highly of this game. I've not really been into solo games before, but I'm all about giving this a go. Oh, this one's stuck in there. I did buy this one. Nazi. It's a Kaiju and Crow dice game. I just like trying dice games. I have played this one with my mother-in-law, and I won't be keeping this game. And 3WS Games hooked me up with Cattywampus and Relative Space. Now, just like Mind the Lines, the other drawing game, I'm super excited to try this one out. Like I said, I haven't found that party game, drawing game yet. I have a lot of different ones. I think Monstrosity is probably my closest winning one for drawing. But like, this one seemed interesting because essentially, 2 people have a clue that might be like, in this case, the example is like a prickly door. So you both know it's prickly door, and then you essentially say, all right, I draw the left, you draw the right. But you have to do it in secret, and also it's ambiguous. Like, what is a prickly door? What does the left side or right side look like? But it doesn't matter. You both draw, and then you take your 2 whiteboards and you connect them together, and then makes the drawing, right? So you're kind of drawing each half without really knowing what's going on. So it can create some funny images, like, you know, this one right here, right? So, and then people have to then they have like 3 guesses to try to guess what it is. So these are kind of like, these are like these activity party games. I'm always looking for that drawing one. I haven't found one yet. So between this and Mind the Lines, I'm really curious to see which one wins out. Had a chance to meet Adam himself at Adam's Apple Games. He hooked me up with a game of Tatsumi. This one looked visually super intriguing. I started reading the rules yesterday, so my plan is to get this played next week with my buddy. I don't know if I want to go with my mother-in-law yet. I think it'll be light enough. So maybe this weekend, we'll see if I can maybe play it with her, but if not, definitely next week. He also hooked me up with The Bird. It's a new style party game. It's like, you see those birds that you see like can balance on the tip of your finger and they kind of like, woo, right? So it's like a game based on that. I haven't read the rules yet. I assume they'd be pretty easy to do if I had to. But I watched people play. They look kind of silly. They're just balancing birds in all different ways, and they're trying to make it happen, right? My daughter was already playing with them. The boxes have been open. She had them all in her hands. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm really excited for Tatsumi. And also, thank you, Adam, for hooking this up. So DVC hooked me up with one copy of Playthings. So I played Rosetta at that convention, too. I mean, all their games are just super creative. I would say they're probably the most creative like game designers out there. Like all the games are just different. They just hit a different, like they hit a different chord, right? So Playthings, it gave me an overview of it. Seems super crazy. You have this board and you're trying to like lay things out as like this like spirit monster thing. And everyone else is trying to figure out like tactily or audibly, like, that's it, right? Whatever. Like, where did you put things, right? And it goes as far, they might have a video somewhere, maybe I'll post it here if I do, where like you put your hand in a leash and then one person has a rope and they can feel kind of where your hand goes. You're like dropping things from distant distances, like they can hear like bells going off and all this stuff. And you kind of interact and find ways basically to kind of tactically and like using your senses to figure out what was happening, because I guess you can't use your eyes. So I'm really curious to see how this game plays. I stopped by the Grain Matters game booth, and they're the ones that make Cross the Line. That's the one I compared against Wavelength, which Cross the Line, thumbs up. So I stopped by his booth, and he hooked me up, man. I introduced myself, showed the video I made for him. I went for him, I just did it for fun, and you know, he said he enjoyed the video. But he hooked me up with these games, which I'm super excited about, because I love like Blank Slate and Green Team's Wins, and games of that nature. And then Rhymes with Duck is made by the same guy who made Blank Slate. So it's a similar formula, which I'll be doing a video comparing all those, so stay tuned to that. I love trivia games. I don't know much about this. It's kind of like a trivia game, but like it's like you're a lone wolf or you go with a pack, kind of like you have to choose. These kind of party games, I love these kind of power games, like with my friends and family, especially my daughter. Like these are like those like minute to win it challenge games, but kind of in a nice little cute little tin here. It also gave me Slip It In, which is a really cool style game I always wanted to try, because it's a game without really a time limit, because essentially this is the movie and music pack edition. So they have a base game and they have this like a little expansion, if you will. And so essentially with this game, you just get 5 quotes either from a movie or song, and you have to like kind of put it into everyday conversation. So if you hang out with your friends, you kind of decide like, hey, over the weekend, we're gonna try to play this game. So everyone knows you're playing it, like it's the people you're playing with, and you have like 5. And you're trying to slip in 5 of those quotes throughout the weekend. If you can say it and then 30 seconds goes by and no one catches you, well then you can check off the box of 1 and I get the 4 more to go. Seems super interesting. I mean, with the right group and you kind of are all in, I can see it being a lot of fun and try to sneak in some good quotes. Another game I did buy was I Made You a Mixtape. So I don't know a lot about it, but if you guys played it, let me know. I'm really curious to see kind of how this plays. We'll find out in a future video. And one of the things I'm most excited about is the new Sushi Go Party. I have the 10 version, and let's just say that thing hurts my soul. That lid does not stay on. I have cleaned up that game mess. It falls everywhere. And they not just like remade the game, they like added a bunch of new stuff, and they also have space. So I can take all the stuff out of my other game and put it in here and just toss the tin or just recycle the tin. So I think that was so cool how they did. I'll be making a whole video on this because super pumped about it. And that's it. That is a lot of games. I think most of these games, except for the party games, I should be able to get it played in the next month or two, just because they're mostly lighter games, as you can tell, and they're just easy to get to the table. But let me know your thoughts. Any games here that you're like super excited about? You're like, Ryan, I want to know more about that game, because then that might bring it to the pile, and I'll talk about it first, or I'll play it first. So let me know down there. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And then let me know, like, were you at Gen Con? Did I miss you? What was your highlight from Gen Con? Just, leave it down in the comments. And until the next video, have fun gaming. We'll see you soon. Take care. Hey there, end of the video crew. I'm a little bit overwhelmed right now. This is a lot. When you have it kind of in different parts of the room, but when you put it like this and you're surrounded by this, it's a little bit of a lot. And I don't have a lot of space. So I feel like there will be a big call video coming up soon. Once I get these played, either they stay or someone else goes, because I feel like there has to be some overlap. Now, I have some, but just not a lot. Remember, down in the comments, hashtag end of the video crew. Just spell out the letters, that's it. Shh, our little secret. All right, peace.